Salut YouTube! I'm so excited for this video because honestly, watching French series with the French subtitles on or the English subtitles, if you're not quite there yet, is one of the best ways to learn French. And I've done the hard work for you. I've been doing my research in French series. I've been binging so many French series lately. I want to share with you the best of the best so that you know exactly what you should be binging on and why, and you'll be able to really improve your level of French, because honestly, for me, I was getting a bit worried that I wasn't listening to French, speaking French as much as I should be. And this is just a nice, fun, relaxing, easy way to do it. And you'll be surprised, like I formulate sentences in my head and things like that that have just like seeped into my brain subconsciously just through watching these series. So really, really cool, and definitely recommend that, especially if you haven't been able to get back to France in 2020 for whatever reason, if you're planning to do so, because hey, it was quite a year, right? But just before I jump into the video, I wanted to share the great news that you still have a chance to sign up to the Lingoda language sprint. They've just extended the sign up window, and honestly, the Lingoda language sprint is for you. If you're sick of speaking French like je voudrais une baguette s'il vous plaît, and you actually want to get to a conversational level in French where you can exchange with French people and actually feel much more fluent, then the Lingoda sprint is absolutely perfect, because basically it's a 3-month challenge. It's really intense, and by participating in it, not only do you boost your fluency, but you can get 100% cashback as well. I know it sounds too good to be true, but it's really not. I've done it, subscribers have done it, like it's really, really cool. So if you've been sleeping under a rock or haven't watched my French language learning journey, you may not know who Lingoda are. Essentially, they're a #1 online language learning school. They were founded in Germany, so they've got that real German stamp of quality. And it's a platform where you can take French classes, but you can also take classes actually in English, business English, German and Spanish, but let's say French classes at any time you want, 24/7, super flexible, with great professors in very small intimate groups. So there are usually on average just 3 to 4 people in your group with your tutor. And how it works is that you've got the super sprint where you can attend 30 classes per month for 3 months and get a 100% cashback, or the sprint, which is 15 classes per month for 3 months and you get a 50% cashback. It's still really amazing. Honestly though, because of the online business and the scale of this thing, the classes are really, really reasonably priced anyway. So the sprint starts on January 15th, 2021, and you have until January 10th to sign up. So how you sign up: click the link in my description box down below. You'll be prompted to pay for your first month, and then you won't get charged until month 2 for month 2, month 3 for month 3. And you can use my code WIN99 for €10, about $11 US off your first month as well. Oh, and by the way, to help you with your New Year's resolution, Lingoda are actually sending out a habit tracker for you as a free gift for signing up as well, which is super cute. So with all that said and done, and in addition to your French classes that you're going to be doing with Lingoda, let's talk about some series, some fun, some relaxation that you can engage in to learn French alongside them as well by watching French series. Here are some of my favorites. So my #1 favorite French series ever is 10% or Call My Agent, available on Netflix. It's about a French talent agency, and they work with real French actresses and actors who are playing themselves. It's hilarious. One of the lead actresses is Camille Cotin. She is so talented, so cool. I love everything that she's in. I actually saw a movie with her in it recently here at a cinema. It was called Le Mystère d'Henri Pic, so the mystery of Henry Pick, and that was really good as well. So basically anything she's in, I tend to like. And yeah, I mean, I've talked about this on the channel before, so I won't go into too much detail, but this would be where I would start. It's super cool, like a real Parisian language, you know, real office workplace banter, all of that good stuff. It's really, really cool. Now, the second French series that I recommend to you is called Osmosis. So Osmosis is kind of like if Black Mirror were French. So it's got a bit of a Black Mirror vibe, a little bit like futuristic, sci-fi edge. I'm not really usually into sci-fi stuff, but I love these kinds of future thrillers with technology and this kind of thing. And the funniest thing is one of the lead actors is Hugo Becker, and I didn't know his name before. And when I saw him, I was like, it's Louis! So it's the same guy who was Louis in Gossip Girl. So if you watched Gossip Girl, you are going to recognize this face, and it's a very delicious face. And so this is a really cool one as well. So basically the concept of osmosis is that they've come up with this concept of technology that gets implanted, and it helps you to find your soulmate. It helps you to find your one true love. And it tells you who they are, and it's like gives you this reassurance that you're building a relationship with the right person. But they're of course in beta testing mode and some things go wrong, and there's a whole story around that. So I really enjoyed this series, and we binged through it pretty quickly, to be honest. Like it's definitely one of those series that you're like, okay, next, which, you know, for better or for worse. Now, the next series I recommend watching is called Family Business. Again, it's on Netflix. And honestly, I had never given it a second thought because the thumbnail is just like family business with a neon marijuana like sign in the background. And I was like, like it didn't appeal to me at all. I was like, whatever. But it was actually recommended to me by a French Kiwi actually, and he said it was really great. So I gave it a go. Oh my gosh, I was hooked. It is so funny. So the concept is, so you've got the main guy, Joseph. And Joseph is a bit of like a failed entrepreneur. Like he's tried lots of different things in his life. He doesn't really have a career path going. He's, you know, always trying out new things. And he hears a rumor, a well-informed rumor coming from like the French Ministry of Health that cannabis is going to be legalized. And so of course, being the businessman that he is, he convinces his whole family to jump on this idea, this concept, and to basically turn their family butchery into the very first weed shop in Paris. That's the whole concept. And so as you can imagine, there's just all sorts of drama going on behind the scenes, like in terms of like, yeah, I won't spill too much detail, but it's so funny. Now, this is definitely more so for intermediate to advanced learners because they speak quickly. There's a lot of verlan, so like a lot of French words that they've taken and inversed, and like, you know, it's just a lot of slang and that kind of stuff. So it's probably a very, very hard series to translate. So it's definitely for more of an advanced level. But if you're like B1, B2 and above, you should definitely watch it because it is so, so funny. So in terms of stars, you've got like Jonathan Cohen, you've got Gérard Darmon, and you've got Julia Piéton as well. And it's just one of those comedy dramas where like nothing ever goes right or to plan. Like it's really, really a good watch. I was very pleasantly surprised because my expectations were like here, and it was really exceeded them. It was so, so fun. Okay, so the next series that I recommend to you is called Le Chalde. So Le Chalde, it's around a chalet, of course, based in the middle of nowhere, like a village in the middle of nowhere in France. And it's like a psychological thriller, I guess. So I don't know if you guys have seen Le Revenant, The Returned, but that's also, it's like the same similar vibe. And that's also another bonus series that you could check out if you're into kind of like, yeah, psychological drama with a thriller twist to it as well. And it has Marc Rouchman in it. I'm sure you've seen his face. He's been in movies with Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp. Like I've seen his face, you know, he's just, I know he's famous. And he was sort of the lead character in this. And basically it's surrounding a kind of murder mystery that went down in the village many years ago, and then it goes between the past and the current day. And in the current day there's, you know, the children of the village that are all grown up now, and they've all come to reunite for a wedding. But then things start happening, people start going missing, like, yeah, basically mystery ensues. And they start to pick up on the fact that it's not normal, and that there is, yeah, just a lot of dodgy things going on. And of course you're there trying to figure out, you know, who did it, why did that happen, and just connect all of the dots. And there's lots of hints and clues along the way. And this series is extremely good for beginners because the language, it's very slow moving and they speak slowly. And the language is really like, mais il est où? Je sais pas. Il a disparu. Je crois il est allé dans la forêt. Like it's really quite slow. Like, so I was just saying, they're like, where is he? I don't know. He's disappeared. I think he went into the forest. Like it's quite slow. And so you could even, I think even as a beginner intermediate, you could watch this with the French subtitles on. So that's a really good one for beginners as well. Not to say that it's dumbed down, because it's not. It's quite, you know, you've got to think and stuff. Sometimes, to be honest, the acting's a little bit cheesy and a little bit like, oh, okay, cringy. but in general, it's pretty good and definitely bingeable for sure. The next series that we have been binging lately is called Twice Upon a Time. So instead of Once Upon a Time, Twice Upon a Time. And the lead guy in this is Gaspard Ulliel, which I'm sure you've seen his face all over the place. He's very famous and very well known in France as an actor as well. And basically it's a real zoom in on a couple called Vincent and Louise. And they were very much in love and had a very intense relationship. And all we know is that there was a big breakup. And we're in the future now, you know, 5 months post this breakup. And Vincent has this kind of cube accidentally delivered to his place as part of some other deliveries that he received. And basically when he climbs in the cube, he's able to go back in time. And therefore he's able to try and change the past to therefore change the future. And he's basically attempting to see Louise again, but also make it so that they don't break up in the future. But of course, when you're playing with the past, you know, not everything works out perfectly either. And there are some unintended consequences and that kind of stuff. I don't want to spoil anything, but that's the kind of concept of the show. Language is probably solid intermediate. So I think a solid intermediate could watch it with the French subtitles on. It's not too advanced, nor is it easy. But yeah, it's essentially beautiful people, good acting, and an interesting storyline. So I definitely recommend that one as well. Now my final recommendation, now this is a bit out there for me because I don't usually watch period dramas, but this one really caught my attention. And it's called Le Bazar de la Charité. And the English name is The Bonfire of Destiny. And basically it's set back in 1897. There's a big marketplace. The whole town has gathered together to sell things for charity. And essentially there is a big fire, and one of the lead actresses is in an abusive relationship with her husband, and she kind of uses the fire as a way to make people think that she's died. And the whole storyline kind of revolves around her and then 2 other women whose lives were changed forever following this fire as well. So again, it's a real zoom in on these kind of just characters and watching their personal stories unfold, which is, you know, very much the French way. But I was surprisingly taken with the series. It was recommended to me by my French mother-in-law, so I was a little bit like, but it was great. Really enjoyed it. So that's definitely something that I would recommend as well. Again, it's probably a solid intermediate because while it's not very fast paced and you can follow along, sometimes there's sort of old-fashioned French thrown in there as well. Cool guys, so I hope that you find this really useful. Let me know what's on your watch list, what's on your hit list. If you have any recommendations for me, please tell me, because I'm definitely running out of shows to watch. So please leave them in the comment section down below. I'd be really happy to read your recommendations. And yeah, let me know which of these series you're gonna watch, or if you've seen them already, which of them was your favorite and why. And we can continue the conversation down in the comment section anyway. Otherwise, happy French learning, and I'll see you guys next week on the Not Even French channel. À bientôt!